Okay, I'm going to start broadcasting here.
Okay.
Go ahead, Councilwoman.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. We want to thank you for tuning in this evening for our Clairton Inn recruitment and employment information session. We're just waiting a few seconds to let others filter in. Sorry, I'm having a little difficulty here with my. Okay, got it. Sorry. My mouse was stuck there for a moment, people. But we're just waiting a few seconds to let others join us. Again, welcome to our evening session, our informational session for recruitment and employment. We're so glad that you decided to join us this evening. So today's session is being broadcast on Facebook and is being recorded. Everyone will be on mute except for our panelists. If you wish to ask any questions, you can actually call 412-303-7167, or you could just comment here on our Facebook feed through our chat, or you can click on the little question and answer icon here at the bottom of your screen. Want you guys to know I'm pretty excited about this new development that's coming to our city, as is our mayor, who's also in on the line. There's our mayor. Hi, Mr. Mayor.
Hello.
Just waiting.
Hello, everyone.
For a few more people to join us, Rich.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Mayor Rich Latanzi, City of Clairton. I'd like to welcome everyone. And on behalf of myself and the City of Clairton and my council, we are very excited about what transpired for tonight and this evening. I especially want to thank anyone that had a part in putting this together, this meeting for tonight, especially Maddie, Tim, and Roxanne. And hopefully we can answer some questions and explain some exciting parts of our project to be done in Clairton. Clairton hasn't had much developing in the last many years, and the Clairton Inn should be one of our cornerstones. And we believe it will help create several more developments throughout the business district. Clairton at one time had roughly about 25,000 people back in our heydays. Today we have roughly 6,800. With the mills declining back in the 70s and the 80s, and after wartime, people look for other jobs, and the decline crippled the business district and the City of Clairton. The City of Clairton eventually went into something called Act 47, and we were governed and run by the state. We were fiscally or financially broke. At that time, the city lost their police department for about 10 years. The city eventually lost their ambulance service, and our fire department struggles today to survive. While the school district once graduated between 300 and 400 students, today it graduates between 30 and 50. The City of Clairton had to make some tough decisions. We had to do some layoffs, combinations of jobs, and the sale of our sewage authority was one of the things that helped us to be able to come out of Act 47 in 2016, after being on state control for 29 years. Shortly after the city was awarded a large grant opportunity called an NPP, a Neighborhood Partnering Program. The NPP was made possible by our DCED, Dennis Davin, John Pro, Ellie Doyle, and the support of our local politicians like Rich Fitzgerald, Mike Doyle, Jim Brewster, and Austin Davis. It took a whole team to get this accomplished. With the NPP, we were fortunate to get some financial lenders like BYN Mellon and Highmark, which are very instrumental in having this project develop. Clairton was the first third-class city to ever come out of Act 47 in the state of Pennsylvania. Our NPP is being quarterbacked by EDS, which is Economic Development South. We've done many small projects throughout the city in the last couple of years, many social services that are headed by Maddie Nagel, and they're doing very well. The EDS is responsible for providing our produce marketplace, which is doing well, and it also provides healthy choices, food choices for the City of Clairton. The manager, Felix Fusco, is doing a great job, and we do other programs at this store as well. We currently have 3 or 4 other developments going on throughout the city. While they are private in nature, we recently had the new Speedway built, the Magistrate's Office on Miller and St. Clair, the Marco Construction on State Street, and Plapjack Construction, and there's ongoing talks with some improvements at Century Townhomes. However, our largest and most exciting development for the City of Clairton by far is the Clairton Inn on the corner of Miller and St. Clair. This will be mentioned for years to come as the start of our rebuilding of our business district. When things were happening on a smaller scale, we were told to reach out to the MVI, Mon Valley Initiative. Laura Zimsky and Andrew will become our very shining stars after assessing Clairton and our needs and finding a location and chasing down the fundings they needed to present the Clairton Inn project to Maddie and to the rest of the council. They presented the grant application in 2017 to PHFA. The application was hefty and the requirements were so much information. The benefits, the planning, sustainability, etc. We were disappointed not to be awarded in 2018. It was like a punch in our guts. However, Mon Valley Initiative made some enhancements to the grant application in 2018. And with this process being so competitive, and with the help of our political friends, we were the recipients of the Affordable Housing Grant for 2019. Lo and behold, the City of Clairton is proud, excited, and grateful for the new development in the City of Clairton being called the Clairton Inn. This project will be approximately $17 million and it will provide some local jobs through Mystic Construction, Mon Valley Initiative, and Workforce Development. The project will create 49 new affordable living spaces or apartments, 6 new commercial storefront spaces, and also a relocation of our public library. It will be a cornerstone of beauty, freshness, and safety. Potentially 100 new residents to our business district. They will all need food, clothing, household goods, and entertainment. Hence, additional developments to support the growing business district. The city applied for additional grant monies and will continue to do so for solar lighting and cameras throughout the streets of our business district. Also, we applied for sidewalk repairs and street repairs and site control of some of the surrounding properties around our new project, whether we're going to sell them or for demolition. We must provide a safe business district and a safe environment for our people. We, the city, cannot thank all the people responsible for making all this possible. Also, we would like to thank all the citizens of Clairton for all their patience and their participation in our comprehensive plan and all of our town hall meetings. Moving forward, we are excited to cut the ribbon in a groundbreaking event, and we thank God for this opportunity and for the future of the city of Clairton definitely look bright. Thank you very much.
Just want to let you all know what the purpose is for today. We're actually going to inform you about the hiring process and how to become involved. And there is a lady by the name of Roxanne Thomas. She will be doing that still. And we'll also hear from Andrew Ritchie, who's over in Indiana. So with that being said, we're going to get started on our agenda for this week. Thank you. And I think the next person up is Joey Lynn. Joey Lynn is with Economic Development.
Thank you, Councilwoman Clemens, and thank you, Mayor Latanzi. I would just like to echo, the mayor did a wonderful job talking about the NPP program, the Neighborhood Partnership Program, that we're proudly happy to have been working side by side with the city of Clairton and its residents and business owners over the past 4 years. We are truly excited as everyone is, to bring the Clairton Inn program and work with Mon Valley Initiative to make that happen. Again, I would just like to echo the mayor and thank our partners for this program, the Department of Community and Economic Development, Highmark, and BNY Corporation. We are so thrilled to be able to be working with all of you and eagerly await that groundbreaking ceremony as well, when we'll be able to have this wonderful development in the city of Clairton. Thank you very much, and I look forward to this evening's session. Thanks for joining.
Joey Lynn.
Yes.
Our next panelist is Roxanne Thomas. She's with Mystic Construction. Oh, I'm sorry, I see. Andrew, did you have something you wanted to say? I see you come up.
Well, yes, I'm Andrew Ritchie. I'm a project manager with Mon Valley Initiative. We're the developers on the Clairton Inn project, which we've been working on for the last couple of years, as the mayor mentioned. Thank you. Just wanted to give a quick sort of a brief overview of the development itself. I know people will probably have some questions about when they'll be able to live there, for example. So as the mayor mentioned, there will be 49 residential apartment units of 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms. I did list the various unit breakout there. There will be 7 units that will be fully accessible for folks that use a wheelchair. They're completely ADA accessible. There's 2 additional units that will be equipped with audio-visual features. There will be some income and other eligibility requirements tenants will need to meet. He did mention the street level commercial storefronts, expecting 5 of those, the largest of which is the potential for the Clairton Public Library to relocate across the street, which is very exciting. As far as the timeline goes, we're about a month or so away from completing our financial closing, and then we'll proceed to acquire the 4 different properties that are part of this development. And then Mystic will get right to work. We're anticipating about a 17-month construction period. I'm sure Roxanne and Sean will talk more about their hiring needs and everything. about 3 months or so prior to the project completion is when we'll begin doing lease up. So I'm sure we'll have another event such as this a bit further down the road, just to let everyone know what exactly they'll need to do if they'd like to move into the building. So thank you very much, Councilwoman.
And sorry for calling you out of turn. We're going to save Roxanne to the very end because I believe we have Charles with the workforce piece who's going to come up next. He's our next panelist. And Charles, with you.
Well, thank you, Councilwoman. Good evening. My name is Charles Howell, and I'm the Director of Mon Valley Initiative's Workforce Development and Financial Coaching Program. At Mon Valley Initiative, our team is what's called a Financial Opportunity Center. And what that means is that through our workforce and financial coaching, that it's designed to help people gain, build, or rebuild a strong financial foundation. We do this through a three-legged stool of one-on-one coaching and support. The first leg of that stool is employment coaching. Our job is to help find out what do you need in order to find a job, to find a better job, or start a new career. We'll help with employment search. We're able to help build a resume. We'll help you with mock interviews. We'll also be able to talk about how to overcome barriers that may have gotten in the way of people on their way towards their financial and employment goals. Do you have a criminal record that's getting in the way? We work with employers who hire reentry citizens. We also partner with neighborhood legal services who can assist with expungement and record sealing questions. Is transportation an issue? We partner with various community supports to help people get to work. You know, oftentimes people come to us because they need just to find a job. Well, our goal is not just to help you find work, it's to help people begin to walk in their dreams again. The second leg of that stool is benefits support. Working with our coaches, we'll screen participants for benefits and access to some of those life-sustaining supports that people need. Currently, we're able to help with the rental assistance application through PHFA. We can help navigate Compass to help people connect with food stamps or medical benefits. All of these supports have become even more important as we all navigate this COVID-induced reality. The final leg of our process is financial coaching. In our financial coaching modules, we're going to talk about basic financial literacy and life goals. How do we start from where we are to help you find your path and build towards that future that you've dreamed of? We'll work to review your credit report, talk about assets and liability, and help begin a budget that reflects both where you are with an eye towards where it is that people want to go. And throughout all of this, again, you'll work one-on-one with one of our coaches dedicated to your success. So throughout this time of COVID and gearing up for the work of the Clairton Inn to begin, our workforce development team is available now. We're here through the process and we'll be available when the project is complete as well. Our contact information is available. Our direct phone number is 412-464-4000. We look forward to being able to work with you and the community of Clairton. And also we're blessed to be able to be a part of this valuable project. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so very much, Charles. And I believe is Sean there as well because Sean is the project manager. Is he available if you want to have a word?
I believe Sean is hanging out with Roxanne.
Okay. But before he comes, I just want to encourage you all that are listening to please feel free to type in your questions and answers or click on our chat feature here if you have anything you'd like to ask, and we're going to save that towards the end of our session, okay? Thank you. So I'm going to now ask Roxanne to come on. She's with Mystic Construction. Miss Roxanne Thomas.
Hi, I'm kind of animated, so it is going to be amazing when it starts, everyone, amazing. I am here to present about the hiring process, but more important, Sean Schweiger is a project manager at Mystic, who I want to introduce. Say hi, Sean.
Hi, I will be the project manager for the construction part of this process. I'll serve, as an interface between MVI and the community and the contractors that are actually on site. And I too am excited to get this job started. It's going to be challenging, but rewarding. So I'm anxious to break some ground.
Okay, thank you, Sean. So to get started, let me just talk about the process. Let me tell you I do know a little about Clairton, a little bit because I'm really like a sports guru, and I know about them goddamn Bears. They are so powerful. And I'm a Garfield Gator, so I'm gonna just tell you, it's all love. We're gonna make it happen. When I was up there, it was like another town and then on a hill. I was so amazed, from the barbershop to the salon to the little eatery at the corner pizzeria. So things are going to happen. And what I loved about it was the attitude of the people, Mayor, that they all have confidence that things are going to happen in Councilwoman. So to get started, I'm going to make that be part of it. So let me just talk to you about Mystic. Mystic is one of the general contractors in the city of Pittsburgh that's been around over 65 years that embraces Section 3 and low-income hiring. We already work with Mon Valley Initiative. They're dynamite. They call me, the young lady call me all the time about coming out recruit. So they know my tactics, they know my caring. And I want to tell you, you're not a number to me, you're a person to me. That's what we're going to start at. You're not a number to me, you're a person to me. Because I do a holistic case management approach besides employment, whether it's housing, employment, or whether we're talking about transportation. So Charles, I'm glad you're on board and working with me. The next thing I want to talk about is how Mystic have been around and working in the city of doing all these affordable housing, low income. So we're definitely experiencing it. We have a team of people who cares about each individual gets hired. We have our owner, Bob Mystic, who really cares. He's like the mayor of Northside. He cares about, he'll come and say, Roxanne, this person needs hired. I got to do what I got to do, because when I came in 2013, the first thing he told me, Roxanne, you can make sure there's some kind of success out of someone, whether it's getting them a resume written, whether it's getting a training program, whether it's getting them employment. They're going to come out of my office with some hope. So next we talk about Section 3. Everybody think they know what Section 3 is. Yeah, Section 3 is because we got to get people hired as of color. Section 3 is not about color. Section 3 is about income. It's an income-based HUD Act that was adopted in 1968 that allowed residents in an area where they serve to receive employment and training. So, and it's all categorized by tiers, which are by zip codes. You'll see when I go down the road. So remember, it's not being Black, it's not being Hispanic, it's not being Caucasian, it's about being low income. And one low income, let me give you a little tidbit, for one person, you can make $44,000 a year and be considered low income. We might be falling in that, you know. But at the end of the day, that's what it's about. So I have to get people's mindset about that. Don't be like, oh, I have to get somebody Black on the job. No, you have to get somebody that lives in the area of low income. And we'll talk about that process.
Move the slides for you.
Yeah, move the slides, please. We should be on slide, the Clairton Inn project apartments.
Okay, yeah, he's got it.
Okay, all right. So the Clairton Inn apartments, this is what it is. The tiers, what I was speaking about, the low income, we know raw for the 15025, right? So the 15025 is really the key component and key zip code you have to adhere to. Now on these 15025, you have to be worried about the priority. When I say about the priority, people will have to come in front of me of showing me their proof of residency, proof of income, and if they also have proof of their identification, of course, in terms of their ID. Now, let me just tell you, and I won't say who or what, but I just ran a situation that the person said they live up there, but they couldn't prove their residency. HUD does not allow that. You have to show me something to live in that area. You have to live with that resident. You have to live where you stay in the facility. So I will take heed and look at that. Proof of income could be an EPT card. It could be an unemployment card. It could be a statement just saying you have no income. So that's what it is too. Now, when it talks about the adjacent neighbors, the 15025, we talk about somebody who live right down the street from the project to be able to get the job. So if I have to look at somebody in Jefferson Hills, they have to show proof of income. Of course, it could be low income in Jefferson Hills, but it's 15025. That's the key component. They will set the precedence of how I'm going to build this database. So who comes after that will be in a Duquesne or a Penn Hills or a Braddock. But the key thing is I'm gonna look at 20 people for 20 jobs starting out in 15025. Youth build and low income, homeless people, of course, plays a big part too. And we don't need to take that for granted. If somebody's out there and they need employment or sitting on the corner, low income or homeless, we need to look at that as well. And then it's a city at large. So anybody has a 15025 in that area or a city that extends out to West Mifflin, they have opportunity to get in the database as well. But I just want to assure and ensure everybody that my priority to get people hired is one. And then it's a city at large. So anybody has a 150, if anyone has a 15025 outside West Mifflin, that's what it is. I just heard my voice come in. Okay, now we'll talk about positions available. So one thing about, you'll see when I talk about qualifications, we have from the demo work to the cement work to the footers, any ramification in terms of any qualification that allows a position as a laborer to the tradesman. So the cement person will be hired a labor, the painter will be hired a labor, the firmer will be hired a labor, all the way up till we get down to the landscaper. Then we have a trim, sometimes we have trim cover, trim work. That will allow anybody with no skills, and I want to overemphasize it, no skills, to come and try to be employed. So I want to overemphasize, there's going to be an array of employment opportunities for people to come through, but they have to get vetted and pre-screened. There's a drug test and a physical done too from various companies. So we'll get questions at the end of that. All right, qualifications for work. And we go to the next one. Next slide, should be 2 slides down. Okay. Desire to come to work. We say this over and over again because people think they have to have a skill to become a laborer, to submit. No, we need you to be there at 6:30 in the morning, ready to go to work. If you have to be there at 6:30 in the morning, you have to show up at 6:20. You can't show up at 6:30 to start work. No, work begins at 6:30 in the morning. And I said about 7 o'clock because we have a person, I always give an example, was a laborer for 15 years. But you know what it was? His work ethics. It really got him 15 years. He never missed work. If he missed work, he makes sure that he told the superintendent and everything else. So we know that. We'll go over that once they come and see me. But we care about how you actually treat your fellow man and working with subcontractors. We talked about ability to pass a drug test. We talked about a physical. Be able to work, come to work on a presentable time and get along with others. You will not believe how many times I had to go up on a work site and break up some conflicts between workers to workers, subs to workers, subs to subs. So we don't want this. Mystic actually has been good about monitoring their projects. And we care about our residents. We care about people who go to work. Like I said, I do a holistic approach. If you're not working out on the job, you come to me and say, hey, Miss Roxanne, Miss Thomas, I might want to move on. I can't handle this job. It's happened to me before, and we try to do what we can. Now, saying all of this, say if you're the person that got the demo work, and you're working out wonderful, and you say, you know what, I probably want to move on to the SMIC workers, and I want to interview for them. Subcontractors look at other workers, and they love to steal other workers who have a great work ethic. So why should Mr. Joe Blow be off the job if he's a great worker? Why can't he move to the next job, next phase? It's counted as another position, but more important is it's building up his work ethics and keep it going. So we look at that as well. And then as far as my contact information, at the bottom, you'll see it says Roxanne Thomas, Section 3 Workforce Development Coordinator. Because we have so many people call in, I got my own personal line, and I will talk to you about that once you call in to see about getting employment. And I have my own personal application work email, which is mysticconstruction.com. Now we can work this 2 ways. I can either, there's actually applications that's already up at Clairton. I can send you one or I can email you one. And Maddie, and also Councilman Denise will be filling some questions. We'll talk about that. then also about the whole process after the application starts. But I thank you for your attention. Anything you want to say, Sean?
Not until the questions come.
Okay.
Both so very much. I do have a couple questions for you. My first question comes from Mr. Lewis Rowe. He said, I know that only a few rental spaces are available to rent. Will professional offices be made available for companies such as ours? What is a company such as yours, Mr. Lewis? Can you tell me what type of company you have? While he's responding to that, someone just asked, where do we get a physical application? You can get one at the barbershop, Carlitas's barbershop, Miriam's beauty salon, or they're at the library as well, Maddie?
Produce Marketplace has some. Clairton Cares can email them to you.
And that's for Kevin McLean. Did you get that?
Yep.
You can get a physical application. Also, this is for Andrew. A contractor would like to know, who are the proposals being sent to? Like as far as bidding on different jobs, or is that for you, Roxanne?
Yeah, I think that would be more for, sorry. I think that'd be more of a question for Sean and Roxanne. I think Sean has been receiving most of the submissions from other subcontractors so far.
Yeah, to get these projects started, we send an invitation to bid out to the database that's already contained within the Mista Construction files here. And over the years, we've probably built up, I think, around 1,500 subcontractors or potential contractors that would go out to. Now, if there's somebody out there that still thinks that they, might want to view the project documents and see if they can find some way to, participate as a subcontractor, I guess they could send that request to us directly. Can we do that through your
Yeah,
your
you can do
email?
it through my work email.
Yeah, you have that. You have the contact information for Roxanne, and any requests that come in from subcontractors can be forwarded over to myself, and then we'll try to either put you in touch with the estimating department, or I'll handle the inquiry myself.
And that email was work@misterconstruction.com, and I look at it at least twice a day. Make sure we get move on it.
Okay, another question. Is Section 8 being accepted?
Oh, yes. Yeah. For a Section 8 for his income gallon, of course. 15025.
Yes, okay.
And I mean, it will be accepted once the apartments are available for rent as well from the tenants, if that was part of the question.
Oh, okay.
You might want to call Glenn just in case we need it back.
Was that the question for rental property or for employment?
Rental.
Okay.
Yes.
Also, this is concerning the hiring process. You said that they noticed that it's $14 to $16 an hour, and it's based on experience.
Okay. Question again, Denise, please.
The question is, someone noticed that the hiring salary is $14 to $16 an hour. Is this based on experience?
No, that's our starting wage. That's our starting wage. Experience will come if the person could actually be on and come be more than a laborer. That's why I said we start off everybody as a laborer until we see what their experience is. And we definitely look at the experience when it comes to resume and references.
Okay.
The current wage rate for laborers on this job is $14.82
As a laborer.
as a laborer, yes.
Great. Those are the only 5 questions that I had here that came through as we were, as you all were talking.
Councilwoman, there's a couple on Facebook coming through.
Frozen.
So one question, I think this would be for Sean, are all positions temporary or will they be permanent? I think Roxanne touched on this a little bit, but do you guys want to speak a little bit more on?
Yeah, that's my hit.
Okay.
Mine, they all are, it's actually full-time temporary work. So, you know, when it comes to construction, unless you get hired with the subcontractor, they can move into full-time permanent. But they start as full-time temp. And it's all according to your work schedule too. We have been really flexible in terms of some of the subcontractors. If a person had a second job in the evening, they only could work at 7 to 2. We have been reasonable, accommodating to that person via sub. That's why I play an integral part in terms of working with the sub, the contractor, and the subcontractor, the employee, and myself. We have this orientation I do before they get started.
Okay, was that the only one you had, Maddie?
I've got a few more on here. Let's see. How many retail stores will be available to rent?
That's an Andrew question.
Okay, so there are a total of 5 commercial spaces. We're hoping to retain, Carletto's Pizza Shop. There's a variety store and also the laundromat are all operating in there. And the library we're hoping will fill the large new space. So there will be one totally new space that does not have any commercial tenants identified for it yet. So we'd encourage anyone that's interested to keep an eye on that.
Thanks. And I've got a follow-up question about where to hand in applications. So you can turn them in at Produce Marketplace. We're a little bit limited in our turn-in places because of all the places that are temporarily not doing in-person services. But Produce Marketplace, 519 St. Clair, they're open Thursday and Friday, 12 to 4 and 11 a.m. to 3 on Saturdays. They can be mailed to Roxanne. So I'm going to put all this in the chat. And I have her mailing address. They can also be emailed. So I will send an email address in the chat for that as well. And Councilman Johnson Clemens, did you say there were 2 other locations they could drop off physical?
I mentioned Miriam's Barbara Shop. The other 2 that I have besides the Produce Marketplace.
Okay, so I'm muted and the videos.
Another question that came in on Facebook is, can you go over the income guidelines for rentals again? Like, can you go over the income level? Is there income restrictions, like a cap for how much you can make to rent an apartment?
Sure. So these are all based on area median income, and those limits are published every year by the Department of Housing and Urban Development, usually in the spring. They get updated every year. It's based. Oh, sorry. What's that, Councilwoman?
Or call, because we're picking up other voices while Andrew is speaking. If you all can please use your screen if you are not speaking, I greatly appreciate that. Thank you.
So yes, I could post a chart, like an income chart, I think would be, there's kind of an echo. Probably the easiest way to explain. It's based on 50% of the area median income for that year.
Does that answer their question?
Yes, I have not seen a follow-up, so I'm going to have to say yes. Okay.
Oh, I was speaking all that time on mute. My apologies. I was saying I was looking at 2 screens, looking for questions and answers. Even to Kevin McLean, where can you hand in your application at the same location? Produce Marketplace, you said, Maddie? They're receiving that, correct?
Correct, while they're open, and I think I just hopefully responded through the chat, the physical mailing option and the Roxanne's email that she's accepting applications on. And if none of those work, Kevin, I think we're already emailing at clairtoncares@gmail.com, so we can try to work out another way to get it to Roxanne.
Okay. So, are there any more questions, and are there any more points you all would like to make as panelists? Anything that we may have left out? We're just going to give people a couple more seconds to ask their questions.
What I want to also emphasize is that I am good at returning calls and then building up a database so people will know where they are in terms of once I get the information. That's very important to each individual. So they don't think that we're doing all for naught. And then I would catch them up and follow up with them as we progress. That's important as well.
Thank you very much, Roxanne.
And keep the committee up to date too as well.
Tim, is there anything else we need to do as we bring our session to a close? Is there a follow-up email that I can provide them?
You are going to, there's a couple more questions coming in.
Great.
I will just mention, so that did not answer the questions about income for apartments, but Andrew's going to put up a slide about income, and we're going to have a separate, as we get closer to apartment rental time, there will be a separate information session specifically about the apartments. And then we got another question, are there any plans for future developments after this? So maybe that's Councilwoman, Mayor.
Mayor, I'll let you answer that, but
Okay, I can answer that. Most of this stuff is just tentative. Just recently, we came in contract with DeMarco Construction for a site down next to Speedway on State Street. It's 6.2 acres. And he's in the process of putting a plan together for us. And he's working on some grant money for infrastructure. And that looks promising. We have at least 2 or 3 people that are interested in the Blair ball fields right now. And, one company might hire as many as 75 employees. And we have a couple of smaller companies as well. We're going to look into that. And on St. Clair Avenue, the space next to the new development, we have a medical facility has been asking questions, and I have a meeting with them on Tuesday. So we do believe once the Clairton Inn gets up and running and built, that others will follow. And the city of Clairton is in the process of claiming 34 properties that are blighted and abandoned so that we could have site control, either to resale or for demolition or for extra parking. So that's just some of the few there, but we're pretty excited about the future.
absolutely, and they echo what the mayor has said. We are hoping will take interest in our city and invest in. Yes, is that
Just if I might, Councilman Richard Ford, I would just like to make a statement in regards to Bob Mystic and his company. Bob Mystic worked directly with our group when we put together the Southside development here in Clairton. He was really, really fair. He treated the people well, and he helped us beyond means. I told him in the beginning that I would shout it from the rooftops if he treated our people right. But if he didn't, I would say it was bad. But I'm telling you, I'm shouting it from the rooftop. Bob Mystic's company is outstanding, and you will be pleased to work with him, and he will train you in every way he can. He did a great deal for us, and I want to thank you again.
Who was that just spoke?
My name is Councilman Richard Ford.
Hi, Richard Ford. Thank you for that notation. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're well deserving of it.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Councilman Richard Ford and our mayor. Just waiting.
We got one more question on the Facebook stream, and I think it's worth saying again. Someone asked, are you only looking for Clairton residents to fill those positions, Roxanne? So if you could revisit.
So this is the thing again. We're looking at the 15025 as a priority. So I was told there's going to be enough Clairton residents to fill the positions. Once we exhaust everybody, if we do in the Clairton, they could go on the outskirts. But 15025 is a priority. And I work with other, I mean, we're known in the city. So please, you know, let me know about other jobs that you might want to fill, and I could try to refer you to other projects. Believe me, you don't go out of my office without any hope. I don't believe in that. I believe you come here for a reason. It takes a lot for somebody to ask about a job. We don't want to be there. So, you know, it takes a lot. I must tell you that I did have a female that called me, and she was really skeptical about calling because as a female, she thinks she didn't fit the need. So yes, some of my females work out well. I'm sorry, guys. They work out one of the best ones in terms of employment. So don't be discouraged. Just call me and I'll give you a one-on-one interview on the phone.
Is there a cutoff date or anything like that as far as the hiring? Did you mention that?
Yeah, you are okay. No, far as hiring, Denise? No, how it actually operates on all the other jobs is according to the subcontractors. So I do an ongoing hiring process. So it could be to the end of the project, you know, because I can see if I can put them on the landscaping or a trim carpenter. But again, if they're willing to travel other places, we still keep it moving.
Great, great.
So no, we don't close down as far as hiring.
Okay.
Or recruiting.
And also for those of you who were asking where can you send your application, if you have a pen and paper address to Mystic Construction. Okay. And that is Mystic Construction. Attention, Roxanne Thomas, 1300 Brighton Road, 5233. That Brighton Road is spelled BRIGHTON. Or
Denise, was that a question for us? Our volume going up and down.
it wasn't a question for you, it was something that popped up in the chat, some information. That was just
Okay.
for those who know where to. Okay. Is everyone here? Are we okay? So again, if that's all, I'd like to thank you all so very much for tuning in. And just as Maddie have said and Roxanne, there will definitely be a follow-up session such as the one we had, and hopefully we'll have more participation. And I can't wait for the groundbreaking. I'm very excited, along with my mayor and Councilman Ford. We are very excited about the things that's about to take place in the wonderful city of Clairton. Thank you all so very much for tuning in, and we look forward to hearing from you, whether it be via email or by phone. And you all have a great evening. Thank you all so very much for tuning in.